25th August 1941, frontline Eastern Finland. During the early stages of the 1941 Finnish offensive, the army had pushed deep into enemy territory, but now, the entire Infantry Regiment 53 was encircled, holding defensive positions near Kiestinki. Among them was retired Lieutenant Colonel Selinheimo. By evening, Selinheimo had already led multiple counterattacks during the day. Exhausted, he returned to the command tent and collapsed into sleep. He had barely rested for 2 hours when Selinheimo's runners arrived to wake him. They had been on rifle watch a couple of 100 meters from the command tent. Their message was unusual. They reported that the entire forest was beginning to smell like the enemy. Selinheimo tried to reassure them, saying the smell was probably coming from corpses lying around the forest. The runners, however, firmly disagreed, insisting it was clearly the scent of living men, one that every frontline soldier would recognize. Eventually, Selinheimo was convinced by the men's sense of smell and the seriousness of the situation. He ordered them back to their post. They had just disappeared when an extremely intense fire erupted, tracer rounds slicing through the air. The enemy fire ceased after approximately 5 minutes. During the exchange, Selinheimo identified the sounds of at least 2 Maxim machine guns and several light automatic weapons. The exact distance was difficult to determine, but he estimated it at around 300 meters. Reconnaissance runners confirmed the situation. The 2 men who had returned to their sector had taken cover near their post but were pinned down. Decisions had to be made immediately. The encircled area spanned 1.5 to 2 kilometers in diameter. With the command tent positioned near the center, it became clear that the enemy had pushed at least half a kilometer past the forward defensive line. One fact was undeniable. If the enemy weren't eliminated before morning, the entire position would collapse. Selinheimo immediately contacted all battalion commanders and heads of independent units, ordering every available man to report to the regimental command post without delay. Within 30 minutes, 43 men had gathered. With these men, Selinheimo marched to the machine gun position located at the far southeastern flank. There, a few more men could be detached without compromising the defensive line, bringing the total strength of the unit to 62 fighters. They set off directly north from the machine gun post, expecting to eventually run into the enemy, aiming to intercept them or block their movement. During the approach, the unit had located and cut the enemy's field telephone line. Simultaneously, a small unit was positioned to secure the eastern flank, the original point of enemy entry, to prevent reinforcements from arriving. With the flank secured and enemy communications disabled, Selinheimo felt the moment had come. The assault began. The advancing Finns quickly encountered devastating machine gun fire. The enemy maintained accurate fire control over the area, making it clear that continuing the assault was hopeless. A few days earlier, 2 small mortars had been captured from the enemy, improvised weapons that fired hand grenade-type projectiles. It took nearly 2 hours to get the mortars in position. Upon arrival, it was discovered that only one of them was operational. Sergeant Inger began shelling a patch of terrain where the enemy had been seen entrenching roughly 50 to 70 meters away. The mortar fire was so accurate that Selinheimo could hear and see from the explosions how effectively the rounds were landing. Attempts by the enemy to flee were clearly observed, but they were met with gunfire from fellow Finns defending the opposite side of the encirclement. The enemy was now trapped. The assault group, armed exclusively with submachine guns and light machine guns, launched their attack, advancing under continuous fire. The enemy stood no chance. In the aftermath of the last push, 123 enemy bodies were found on the field, among them 8 officers. 4 was found as wounded. When Selinheimo interrogated the wounded, one of them revealed that their mission had been to infiltrate unnoticed into the center of the encircled Finnish regiment, launch a surprise night attack, destroy the command post, and capture the commanding general. Final Finnish losses: 1 officer, 1 non-commissioned officer, and 4 soldiers. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to catch the next episode from the front lines.